Now, you may be asking, how much damage can he really do in the next several months until the election? A lot. A lot of damage. And you know, you can't trust this president do what's right for this country. You can trust he will do what's right for Donald Trump. He'll do it now. He's done it before. He'll do it for the next several months. He'll do it in the election if he's allowed to.
It has been nearly 10 months since Congressman Adam Schiff, the lead impeachment manager in President Trump's Senate trial, warned America that Trump would do exactly what he's always done and what he is doing right now, putting himself before the good of the nation, refusing to concede an election he has clearly lost, sentencing thousands of Americans to sickness and death because of his own selfishness. Congressman Adam Schiff, the chair of the House Intelligence Committee, joins me now. How would you characterize what we are seeing right now, both from the president and from the Republican members of Congress?
Well, from the president, we're seeing exactly what we expected we would see, and that is that if he lost the election, he would contest it, that he would claim that it was rigged, that it was a fraud, that he would make completely false and baseless allegations that millions voted illegally. And that's, of course, exactly what he's doing. And in terms of the Republicans in Congress, as you pointed out during the trial, Chris, we warned that he tried to cheat in the election and got caught. He tried to get Ukraine to help him cheat, and that he would do it again. And that's exactly what he's doing. The Republicans, who, many of whom acknowledged that he had been proven guilty of the charges, and then went on to say, as what you pointed out, that, well, let's let the voters decide. Now that the voters have decided, that's still not good enough for them. The only remaining ideology, Chris, that we have seen of these Republican enablers is say what the president says, do what the president wants. That is now the Republican Party ideology. It doesn't go beyond that. What he says rules them. They fear angry tweets. They fear primary challenges. They fear retribution. They fear that voters in Georgia may not turn out if Donald Trump takes the ball and goes home. And so we see, once again, this utter capitulation to the wishes of Donald Trump, no matter how anti-democratic and unconstitutional they may be.
How do you understand in this moment, with all that's unfurled since then, how do you now understand impeachment? I've been thinking about this year, which is in many ways the worst year of our lifetime. It's the deadliest year in American history. We've all been through a lot. How do you think about impeachment in the context of what unfolded afterwards?
Well, I think about it in this way. We saw what Donald Trump was made of. We saw the abuses of power. And we in the House undertook our constitutional responsibility with great seriousness. Although, we had realistic expectations, we hoped and prayed the Senate might do the same. They didn't. That's not necessarily a flaw in the remedy of impeachment. One of the things that we pointed out during the trial is that it doesn't matter how well the Constitution is written or how profound the oath of impartiality is. If those things are not animated by the spirit in which the Constitution was written, if the members don't give them content through their character, none of it works. And it hasn't worked because the GOP, one of the major parties, has relinquished its constitutional duty and become a cult of the president. And that's what has this republic shaking. Donald Trump couldn't be doing any of this. There would be no lack of ascertainment by the GSA administrator if the Republicans weren't allowing it. They could put an end to it tomorrow. They just don't have the courage to do it. And it's a colossal failing. It doesn't mean that impeachment won't be an effective remedy in the future if it's necessary, but it does mean at this moment of peril that one party is not living up to its responsibility.
I think some of your colleagues in the House have written a letter to the GSA administrator asking her to answer to them what she's thinking on ascertainment, possibly calling her. So far, the way this has all been played out is played out in the courts and the Biden people saying be patient, and I get all that. does the House have a role here? At a certain point, like, the transition kind of has to happen. You guys do control one branch of Congress.
We do have a role, and we're trying to execute that role. We are, I think, putting the right kind of pressure, public pressure, on these holdouts, both in the Congress and in the administration, to get on with the transition, to acknowledge the election's over. Joe Biden won. He won handily, 6 million votes more than the other guy. And it's time to attend to the business of the country and defeat this pandemic. So we are trying to turn up the public pressure. And that public pressure can be powerful. And if necessary, we'll call people before the Congress, day by day, bit by bit, as the court makes its results clear, as state after state starts certifying the results. The pressure will be inexorable. But in the meantime, of course, we're losing time to fight this virus. The one other thing I want to say,
I think we may have lost.
With respect to, they were waiting in the beginning. Let's let the courts save us from ourselves. And then, let's let the state legislatures save us from ourselves. Well, then it'll be just wait until the Georgia special election is over. And then it will be, let's just wait until he's out of the White House and maybe he will, go off into that good night. And then it will be, as long as he may run in 4 years, I guess we still can't say what we need and act our conscience. If they don't put an end to it now, they will never find the courage to stand up to him. They will never reclaim their party.
I think that's correct. House Intelligence Chair Adam Schiff, thank you for making time tonight.